Hey runners, it's Fraser. Welcome back to the stretch and stability series. This is episode 2. Let's get into it. So we're just going to start in a cross-legged position, and I'll just come onto my mat. And then from here, I'm just going to reach the left arm up, and then I'm just going to laterally bend over to the side. So I want to think about turning the chest up towards the ceiling as I bend over towards the right. And I'm just going to hold here. I'm using my right hand as support. I'm not curling in like this. I want to try and keep the chest twisted up towards the ceiling as I bend the torso over to the right. And then I'm going to go over to the other side. So left hand comes down onto the floor, reaching up and across, lifting the chest up towards the ceiling, hopefully feeling a stretch here through the QL, outside of the lower back. So twisting the chest up towards the ceiling as I bend over to the side. Gaze is up towards the hand. And then we're just going to move through this dynamically. So one hand places down on the floor as I bend over to the side. And we'll just do a few reps here. Okay, that's 4. Make sure you keep twisting the chest up towards the ceiling, opening up the chest. 5, 6. We'll go to 8, 7, and last one, 8. Good. From here, what we're going to do is we're just going to bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee, and then I'm just going to pull my body around and twist around, and with my hand, I'm just going to reach back behind me, getting a nice rotation through the spine, through the thoracic region now, which is the upper spine, and just holding here, trying to reach back as far as possible, but again, not dumping with the spine. Try and be nice and upright as you do this. Good, and then I'm going to turn around to the other side. So my right hand comes to my left knee. I'm going to use that left knee to pull myself around, getting that twist through the spine, and then bringing the hand back, keeping the gaze, looking at that hand that's behind me, getting that lovely rotation through the spine, and just holding here. Really trying to pull that hand back as far as possible. Good, and then we'll move through this one dynamically. So hand to the outside of the knee, twist around, and then come back in, over to the other side. Again, we'll do 8 here. 3. On each rep, try and go a little bit further back. 4. 5. 6. 7, and last one, 8. Hopefully, throughout those movements, your range has increased a little bit. So we're going to go into a deeper twist now. So you're just going to extend the left leg out in front of you, and then you're going to have your right knee up. From here, we're just going to place the left hand down on the floor to the outside of the right knee. And then from here, I'm just going to twist the body round and try and turn round behind me. Again, getting a nice rotation through the spine, trying to be nice and upright with the chest. Trying to maintain my breath, breathing into the diaphragm. Really trying to twist around all the way. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's go onto the other side. So I'm going to bend my left knee. I'm going to twist around. I'm going to bring my right hand to the outside of the left knee, and then I'm going to rotate my body around, bringing my gaze back behind me, keeping the chest nice and upright. Holding here. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, let's go through the sequence again. So we're going to come back to a cross-legged position. And then from here, we're just going to tilt the body over to the side, hands down on the floor, reaching up, bending over to the side, but keeping the chest open towards the ceiling, and just holding here. Really try and lift up with the chest as you bend. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go over to the other side. So hand comes down onto the floor, bending over to the side, reaching across the body, opening the chest up. Hopefully feeling this through the outside of the lower back, the QL. And then let's go through some dynamic motion. So hand comes down onto the floor, reaching across for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the last one, 8. Good. I'm going to bring my left hand to my right knee. I'm going to twist the body around, bring the arm up, and really just try to reach around, getting that rotation now more into the upper spine, holding there. Really try to reach around as far as possible. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring your right hand to your left knee. Keep the chest upright. Bring the arm out, reach back. Bring the gaze back. And really try and pull that hand back as far as possible. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's move dynamically. So left hand to right knee, reach back. Other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and last one, 8. Good. Okay, let's extend both legs and then bend the right knee. Bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee, both hands on the floor, and then we're twisting around. And as we do this, we're trying to lift the chest up, opening up the chest and not collapsing, and just holding here, twisting around as far as possible. And holding here. Really try and twist around. So drive that left elbow into the knee to pull yourself around even more, or into the thigh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go over to the other side. So we're going to bend the left knee. We're going to bring the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Place it down on the floor, nice and upright, twisting round. Bring the gaze back behind you and holding here. So to try and twist around further, you're driving this elbow into the thigh. And really try and maintain a control in the breath here, breathing into your diaphragm, so expanding your belly as you breathe in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're going to go into a lunge position, and we want to have the right foot outside of the hands, or we can think about it as having the hands inside of the right foot. Now in this position here, try to pull the chest up as much as possible and engage the glutes and drive the hips down towards the floor. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to extend the legs. So what I mean by this is trying to keep the chest in the same position. Try to straighten the back leg. And we should feel this nice stretch through the hip flexors. Now this won't happen if we're rounded like this. We want to try and be as upright as possible. And we're just holding in this position here. We're then going to drop the knee down to the floor, and we're just going to reach up to the ceiling with the right hand, getting a nice, lovely rotation through the spine. With the hand on the floor, push the floor away from you and lift the chest up towards the ceiling. Good. Let's bring the hand back down to the floor. Keeping the chest upright, we're going to extend the back leg again, feeling that stretch through the hip flexor, an area that gets very tight from running. Okay, knee back down to the floor, rotate, reach up to the ceiling. Feel that lovely rotation through the spine. And then hand comes back down onto the floor and we extend the legs. So we've done 3 now. We're going to do 2 more to make a total of 5, and then we're going to go again on the other side. Okay, so let's reach up for 4. And again, hands onto the floor, extend the back leg. Try and keep the glutes engaged, keep the chest up, and then get that rotation through the spine, reaching up, pushing the floor away from you with that base hand, and then hand comes back down. Good. Let's go to the other side. So we're going to step forwards with the left leg, coming into a nice long lunge position. And then we've got both hands inside of the left leg. We're going to grip the back toes into the floor. And then we're going to try to straighten the leg with the chest lifted up and keeping the glutes engaged as we do this. So glutes on, straighten the leg, keep the chest up. And then drop the knee down to the floor, rotate, reach up to the ceiling. And again, hand comes down, extend the leg, keeping the chest up, keep the glutes on. Knee comes down to the floor, rotate through the spine, reach up. Push the floor away from you with the base hand. Hand that's come into 3, extend the leg. Knee down to the floor, rotate and reach. Let's come into 4. Extend the back leg, glutes on, lift the chest up. Drop the knee down to the floor, rotate and reach. Last one, hands on the floor, chest up, extend the back leg, glutes engaged. Drop the knee down to the floor and get that lovely rotation through the spine. Good. Okay, let's come down onto our backs. So lay down onto your backs and then the hands out to the side and the feet on the floor. We're just gonna rock the hips side to side. Now when we're in this, or when we're doing this movement, we're trying not to lift up at all with the upper back. So keep the upper back grounded on the floor. And we're just starting with a simple motion of dropping the knees down to the left and then the knees down to the right. Now what I want you to do here is, as you drop the knees down to the left, try to think about kicking the right foot up towards the left hand. So I'm kicking the foot up towards the left hand. We can hold there just so we can understand the sensation. And again, trying to keep the upper back grounded on the floor. That right foot's going to come in. And now we're dropping the knees over to the right. And then we're trying to kick up with the left, kicking the left foot up towards the right hand, keeping the upper back grounded on the floor. Good. Once you understand this, we can start to make this a nice, dynamic, fluid motion where we're kicking the foot up to the opposite hand. And we're trying to fully extend that leg, so fully straighten the leg as you kick up to the opposite hand. Now don't worry if you're not getting up as high as I am. You can work to improve this over time. So we'll just spend some time here kicking up as high as you can to the opposite side, staying grounded with the upper back and the shoulders, palms flat down into the floor. And we can start to get a little bit more momentum. So try and really kick up to the opposite hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, let's repeat. Let's go back into our lunge position. So we've got both hands inside of the right foot. And then we're shifting the weight forwards. We're extending the back leg, lifting the chest, keeping the glutes active, drop the knee to the floor, and rotate. That's 1. Let's move a little bit faster now. Extend, down, 2. Extend, down, 3. Try and stay nice and low as you extend the leg. That's going to make it more challenging. 4. And last 1. Glutes active, chest up, extend, down, and rotate. Good. Let's go over to the other side. So now we've got the left foot to the outside of the hands, or the hands inside of the left foot. You can think about it either way. And then we're going to extend the back leg, keeping the chest up. And then we're dropping the knee to the floor, rotating up to the ceiling. And again, extend the back leg, glutes active, chest upright. Knee to the floor, rotate, reach up. That's 2. And again, extend. Knee down. 3. 4. And last 1. Extend the back leg, glutes on. 5. Good, let's come back down onto our backs. And then we're just gonna go for those kicks. So we can start just to get the feeling of rocking the hips side to side. And then we can start introducing that kick again kicking up to the opposite hand, trying to get as close to the hand as possible. And eventually you're making this as dynamic as possible, or as dynamic as you want it to be. So try to just kick up to the opposite hand. If that feels like a lot for you, don't worry. You can do this movement nice and slow and controlled. So kicking up to the opposite hand. And just remember to try and keep that upper back grounded on the floor. So trying not to compensate and create that fake range. Good. Let's do 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Cool. So we're going into a section on ankle rotations or controlled articular rotations, where we take the ankle joint through its full range of motion. So we'll go straight into that. So we're going to start with the left leg, and just with the left hand, you're just going to support the leg underneath the thigh so you can have the foot elevated off the floor. We're then going to take the ankle joint through its full range of motion. So what we want to do is just take a hold of this bone along the front of the lower limb called the tibia, and we want to stop that from moving so that we're not affecting the knee joint. We want to just target the ankle joint. So try and feel that long bone that runs along the front of the shin here. And then we're just going to start by flexing, plantar flexing, where we point the toe down. And then from here, we're going to go into inversion, where we're just going to turn the foot inwards. And then we're going to flex the toes up, dorsiflexing. And then doing what's called eversion, where we twist the foot out to the side. And then pointing the toes back down to the floor. Now, as you do this, you're trying not to let that tibia move. So you're trying not to get the rotation through the knee joint. We're trying to just isolate the movement to the ankle. Okay, so let's go through some rotations. So starting by pointing, coming in, flexing up, flexing the toes up as well, out to the side, point the toes down to the floor, and really just try and break the movement down. So coming out to the side, pointing down, coming in, lifting up, flexing up, to the side again, pointing down. Let's do one more. Flex up, over to the side, pointing down. Good. Let's go the other way. So we're going to go out to the side. We're then going to flex the toes up, come over, point down, and then again, eversion, dorsiflexion, inversion, plantar flexion. Okay, so these terms you might not be familiar with, but we're just trying to bring the foot in, point the toes down, point the toes out to the side, and then flex up. Okay, let's do one more. So in, pointing down, out to the side, and flex up. Okay, let's go on to the other side. So supporting the right leg underneath the right thigh, taking a hold of that tibia so that we can try and stop it from moving, so we don't want to move the knee joint, just trying to target the ankle joint here. And then we're going to go to that plantar flexion, out to the side, flex the toes up, come in, point the toes down, and just keep moving with this motion, trying to break down the individual movements so that you can make sure you're hitting the full range in the ankle joint. So really focusing on what you're doing here and feeling that tibia, that bone that runs along the front of the lower limb, making sure that's not moving. Good, let's go the other way. So out to the side, flex the toes up, come in, point the toes down. Out to the side, flex the toes up, come in, point the toes down. Last one. Good. Okay, so they're your ankle cars. We're next just going to go into a little bit of a toe stretch. So we're just going to sit back onto our heels and then get a nice stretch through the toes. So simply just come into what's called a rush squat, where we've got the feet close together. And then from here, you're just going to drop the knees down to the floor. And then from here, we're just going to sit up and we're just going to try and take a little bit of a lean back. So we're getting a nice stretch through the toes. And you can put your hands onto heels just to push the feet down into the floor a little bit more. And we're just going to hold here, hopefully getting a nice deep stretch through the toes. If it is too much for you, just shift the weight forwards and just holding here. Good. So really you can push the heels down into the floor to intensify this, or you can lean back even more if you want to. We very rarely stretch our toes, so this might feel quite intense, but it also hopefully feel quite nice. And we'll hold for 10 more seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're going to come back to our ankle rotations. This time, we're going to look for a bit more of a fluid motion. So whereas before we were focusing on each different range in the ankle, we're now just going to try and get one continuous motion. But still try and make sure you're tapping into the full range in the ankle. So still think about what you're doing. So taking hold of the left leg, holding onto that tibia, and then we're going to start by going out to the side. So we're just going to flex the toes, point the toes down, come out to the side, flexing up, and then coming in. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one, flex the toes up, come in, 5. Good, we're going to go for 5 in the other direction. So start by pointing the toes, come in, flex up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one, 5. Good. Okay, let's go over to the other side. So using the right hand to support the right leg, taking hold of the tibia, start by pointing the toes. We're going to start by going out to the side. So coming out, flexing the toes up, coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to come inwards now. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one, 5. Good. Coming back to the toe stretch now. So we'll just do one more toe stretch. So starting in this rush squat where we've got the feet together, dropping the knees down to the floor, and then we're just going to lean back and just get a nice stretch through the toes. And we'll just hold here for about 30 seconds. And we can alter the intensity of this by shifting the weight forwards to make it easier, or leaning back to make it more challenging, or a deeper stretch through the toes. And the other thing we can do is just put the hands onto the heels and push the feet down into the floor. And just holding here. Okay, 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. That concludes our section focused on the lower limb. Well done, runners. Hopefully you enjoyed today's session, and next time you're out running, I hope that you can really feel the benefits, feeling more stable, more connected in your body. See you soon.